important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement. There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra-premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors & Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old-school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors & Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors & Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long. On the air in Lincoln at 93.7 The Ticket.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Welcome into For the Girls Club with former Husker volleyball player Mandy Monson. Join Mandy as she helps you learn how to determine your own destiny, no matter where you're at in life, from the court to the classroom, the bank to the boardroom. Become a better you with the For the Girls Club. Here is your host, Mandy Monson.
What is up, everybody? That's right. This is Mandy Monson, and I am your host and CEO of For the Girls Club. Tonight, I have a fantastic guest with me. I've been so excited about this. I have Miss Vivian Ball with United Dance Collective. Vivian, thank you for being on the show tonight. So you guys, just to let you know before we get started, we basically have 4 segments of the show. What we do in For the Girls Club is I bring on women business owners in Lincoln, Nebraska to talk about all things business. And I love highlighting great women business owners. So we talk about their origin story. We talk about maybe some growth, maybe some challenging things business owners have had in their business. Then we talk about where they're going, like what is happening in their business, where are they looking to go and grow in the future. And then the last part is a little promotion and kind of a nugget of advice that you could maybe leave our our guests, our audience with, Vivian. So Vivian Ball, thank you for being on the show tonight.
You're so welcome, and thank you for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. So like I said, and I did a little promo, you guys, on the socials before tonight. Vivian and I know each other because, in full disclosure, my daughter does dance at United Dance Collective. It's a fantastic studio. So I've known Vivian for like 4 years now, and known you for longer because we've been in the dance world. But I would love for the audience to know your origin story, how you got into being an owner of a dance studio, and what that has looked like for you.
Well, I would love to tell that. I basically went to college and have a dance degree in performing arts and from the University of Nebraska. And after that, I could go two different ways. I could have went to perform, which I thought I was going to do, or I could have went to the teaching track because my degree is in both performance and teaching. And after I was asked to teach at the university in the dance department for 2 years, I taught ballet and jazz and tap and musical theater. And I choreographed Oklahoma there, a scene in their show, one of their shows. I just absolutely got caught up in the teaching aspect of it.
Yeah.
And just realized the beauty of what it felt like to teach and give that art away that I so enjoyed my entire life. And I got the knack of, I just loved it. I also worked at another studio in Lincoln for 9 years teaching before I did go and open my own studio. And I think I just got so excited about the whole teaching. I love children and I love all ages. I even, when I first opened a studio, got into adults and had adults that were tapping and took them to competition.
That's right.
Yes. So,
yes, I remember that.
Oh my gosh, they actually took from me, I think some of them 6, 7, 8 years, and a big team of them did that. And that was super special. So I do love teaching all ages, but I think the biggest reason that I ended up doing the business was I grew up in a family-owned business. My parents owned a refuge business and a hazardous waste business.
Yeah.
And I saw my mother do the books my entire life. And my father would go out and do the actual labor. And I was just brought up in a family that my dad said, we live in America. We can go out and achieve whatever we want as long as we put our hard work, basically hard work. Both my mother and father didn't have even high school degrees at the time. My mom ended up getting hers, but they both just had this amazing business, both my mom and father, that was so successful because of their hard work. So I just saw two people my whole life just put their everything for their family into their working.
Right.
So I think that's what got me really excited and not so afraid to take that risk that so many people are afraid to do. The biggest thing is just figuring out your plan of what you want to do with your business, what you want to call it, what you want to name it, where I think the first thing was like, oh my gosh, how much money do I need? And really, I got lucky because in a dance studio's aspect, if you can find the right place, it's basically even that year that we did it, we didn't have to do a big build out because ours was kind of already set up for a dance studio.
Oh, okay.
So, it all kind of fell into place. My mom co-signed for a loan for us. She totally believed in it. I had a girlfriend that I grew up dancing with and doing beauty pageants with, and she wanted to be my partner. So I, for 28 years, did the business partner, and it was amazing. It worked out fantastic.
Yeah.
We had one of the largest dance studios in Lincoln, and it just was like super successful. And then in the last 3 years ago, we decided to both venture on our own.
Yep.
And broke apart, and it's been, I think, fabulous for both of us. And it's just been a new adventure. It's kind of doing what you did, but just a little bit different on your own time, own ways. It's been new and exciting because you do get to do things on a different timeline and everything. Right. Than when you had a partner, and partnerships are great too, as long as you can get along and you have the same ideas. Both of us were workaholics, so we were able to make that work.
Yeah, right.
But as long as you have two people that both love what they're doing, I will say with my, job that I get to do, it's such a love that it's sometimes you forget that it's work.
Yeah.
Because it's such a rewarding job that you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I, like I said, I get to see that because my daughter dances at United Dance Collective, and I would totally agree with that. That like I love watching you train your dancers, because in the studio, it doesn't matter if you're the best dancer or if you're just starting in dance and you're a general school student. Like, you train every single dancer the same, meaning you give them your time, your attention. You have high expectations for all the dancers that are in that studio. There's like, we just had recital, right? What was it? 3 weeks ago,
Yep,
2 weeks
3
ago?
weeks ago. Yep.
And there were some dances that were in the dance world. You guys, there's competition. And then general
At our
school,
studio,
general school.
Yep, social.
And there were some social general school dances that you would think that they were a competition dance.
Yes.
And
for
I
sure.
think that's what you do such a great job of. Can you kind of, because you've now basically, you were a part of another owner studio, then you had a partner and had that studio for 28 years, and now you've had United Dance Collective, on your own with your daughter Lillian, does a lot of choreography, and then the teachers. Like, what did you take from, I would say, those initial experiences that then you were really able to implement like into your own studio that you think has really allowed United Dance Collective to thrive?
I would just say, going back to what you just reiterating that, like, my partner and I both always felt it was important to teach everyone. Sometimes you go to, I don't know, maybe a gymnastics place or different venues, sports things, especially sports.
Sure.
You know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of times things are all about who's the most talented in sports. And I know it's, that's gotten even more so over especially the last couple of years. But I think it's really important that sometimes people miss that there are talented people. They just need to be coached and that brought out of them.
Right.
Because there's those students that walk in and yes, they're like God-given talent, and anybody could, teach them, coach them, whether they're doing the sport or dance. But it's that student that sometimes you have to like dig deep, and sports,
Right.
I think, is even the same way. I think
Right.
like sometimes there's that hidden talent and it's just got to be brought out of someone. And sometimes coaches just look for that raw talent and they want that hurry up, let's get success out of kids. When I feel like, being a great athlete or being a great dancer it's a process and takes lots of time. And sometimes you can build an equally good dancer that wasn't as God-given with time and, dedication and love and encouragement. And I think that so often people just want to see the talent and they want to work with the talent. And I think it's important that, like, when you're teaching something and you have a place that you try I really iterate to the teachers that it is important to look at every child equally.
Right.
Whether they come in for one class or they come in for 14 classes, like many of the dancers do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just try to bring the best out of everyone in the time that they're there. Because obviously, I always tell my dancers, if you take dance 10 days a week, 10 times a week, not 10 days, 10 times, that you're going to be so much better, than the person that comes in once.
Right. It's repetition.
Repetition.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So just to educate our listeners, if they are not aware of kind of like, if you have a child that is in dance, what does that look like? Can you kind of explain what, say, general school social recital is compared to competition dance?
Sure. That's great. Basically, if you're coming in for just like social classes, your kids, you just want them to like have good exercise, be healthy. My biggest thing that I think dance does more than anything is creates teamwork.
Totally.
It's not an individual sport. Sometimes I was a gymnast and a dancer. I did both growing up, and gymnastics can be so individual.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So much stress on you, which I love them both. I love them equally. You just have to choose which one because they're very different. And now we do, we have tumbling at our studio and stuff, which is tumbling for dancers, but it's very different than just you're going out and competing on your own as a gymnast. So
Right.
dancing is much more of, there can be anywhere from 8 to 28 people in a room, and you're all kind of building each other up as you dance. And maybe the best dancer in the room is helping motivate the rest, just, giving each other motivation. You can come into a class and take the most basic class just for fun, just to get your daughter exercise, your son exercise. Or you can, at my studio, you can go be a professional dancer. You can be a Scarlet. You can
Literally.
There's so many things that you can do. I've trained several Scarlets over the years, many, and many that have went on to be professional dancers because they put so much time in at the studio. Several that have went on to get huge scholarships at some of the best universities for dance.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what you want to do with it. But I mean, it's you can keep it as simple and fun with a ballet tap class and just really easy one hip hop class, a hip hop and a tumbling class, or you can be like some of our students and be there with
all
me
the things
every single night.
Every single night. That's where Josie is. Every single night. Okay, so let me ask you this, right? I think, well, I'm in the dance world, so that's where I'm in it all the time, you guys. So that is kind of my world right now. It's dance or volleyball, but there's this debate: is dance a sport? Is dance athletic? And I would highly debate. It's absolutely a sport. It's very athletic. Maybe it's not a sanctioned sport yet, but I think there are things on the horizon for that. What do you say to that kind of question? Or you've been in the business now for over 30 years. You were a dancer before you were owning a business, running studios. I would love to get your thoughts on that.
I would say just like sports, because I had 3 boys that played varsity sports in high school and played select ball of many different kinds. So whether it be, the 7-on-7 football or the, just the select baseball, they did all of that. As well as being competition dancers, the boys. I would say that athletes, dancers, it's evolved to a completely different place than it used to.
Right.
When I was young, dance was nowhere near where it's at now. And I mean, if we took twice a week, that was like, oh my gosh, you were so serious at dance.
Yeah.
And now you can see a dancer in a studio literally 5 nights a week.
Right.
Some 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. It's kind of whatever people want to do. Depending on your dance studio, I definitely think there's some dance studios that are much more recreational.
Sure.
That are just, I don't want to call it for fun, but like maybe just like, they do things a little less serious and stuff.
Right.
But if you're at one of them that does do competition, especially in the elite level where we compete, I do think that dance has very much so became athletics. We do push-ups, sit-ups, running. I mean, anything you can think of that, because dancers don't get their heart rates up for long periods of time. So we do have to build that stamina so they can make it through a 3, a 5, an 8-minute production piece.
Yeah.
So
without stopping. It's no joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Without stop, or a solo that is very challenging.
Totally.
And, lots of tumbling and acrobatics has started, it's probably been a good 5-8 years now that got really popular.
Right.
Some judges don't like that at all. So, you have to be very careful what you put in. If you've got a great dancer that's talented and can do some of it very well, you might put it in choreography. I know lots of kids need it for their high school dance teams.
Right. Yep.
So, of course, we do teach the aerials on all sides and front aerials and all the things that they would be needing, the hip hop tricks and that would be required for a high school dance team for any of them in Lincoln or surrounding areas.
Yeah. And I just heard this statistic today, which I totally believe it, but from a group standpoint, dance is 2 behind basketball as far as the largest amount of dancers that participate in the sport.
That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah,
I thought that's
awesome.
amazing too. Okay, so on the socials, if you are aware of dance and into dance, a lot of times you'll see like dad posts of like not understanding how the competition judging works. So I would love from the owner, can you talk like when we go to a competition and scoring is done? Because I think a lot of people actually don't understand it. Like they'll be like, okay, your daughter's on dance team. Like, okay, so what do you guys do at a competition? How do they score it? Can you educate our fans here, our listeners, on what that looks like as far as when you take a team to competition? How does the scoring work? How do they come up with the winners?
Yeah, I'll tell that, but I'll even back up just a little bit and say that there are dance teachers that don't believe in competition because they think that like it's an art form. And
Oh, sure.
so I'm going to back up even to that
Okay.
and just say
Yeah.
that like, because I do have a dance degree and I believe in, ballet absolutely needs to be taken by everyone.
Oh,
and
for sure.
proper
Yes.
technique.
Yes.
My dancer will all know lots of ballet. But it's one of those things where um the competitions give so much more than saying you're the best at something.
Exactly.
That's really
Yes.
not what it's about at
Right.
all. So
Yeah.
I think so many people, especially there's studios that don't know anything about it or don't do it. It's really putting yourself and your dance studio out there. It's you do it to compete, especially the level that we compete at.
Yeah.
You're putting it, if you do, I do all the a lot of the choreography. My teachers are doing some, and my daughter does a lot too. And it's like, that's personal because you're putting yourself out there.
Right.
It's how it's scored, and why I feel it's important is because it is teaching so much more than a score.
Yes.
So when people are like, I got first overall, and they think that's the important part, that's not why my studio does it. And that's not why we ever started doing it with my business partner and we started doing it to just give a platform for more dancing. So instead of just doing your annual recital,
Right.
you have many more chances to go out. Some kids do 5 competitions, some do 10, some do 15.
Yep.
With solos, but with groups, we do 5. It is so important that they get to go out there and do the art form, the trait, what they're studying so many more times, which number 1 is just a confidence builder. That's the biggest thing.
I agree.
So when they're being scored, of course, one of the biggest things is going to be the, technique element.
Right.
And then number 2, it's going to be performance element. And then there's performance showmanship, which sounds about the same. Each competition kind of has a different format of how they score that, but it's basically the overall appearance of what someone gets out of it. So,
Right.
and the costume is part of it. Just like we were saying when we were at the meeting this yesterday about auditions, right down to the shoe color, the lipstick color, the everything, all of that
The
is
hairpiece.
important that we match and we look appropriate, because what that ends up teaching your dancer is in life, the more you put into yourself, the more put together you look when you go to an audition, an interview, the better you have more opportunity to get the professional job.
Right.
So it's really a lot of the things. We go to Spotlight Dance Cup and they have separate things which your daughter, of course, goes to. And they have a whole separate section on teaching the girls how to interview, how to stand properly, how to talk to someone with proper etiquette and elegance. And all those things are so much more than dance. That will take them, and what I always tell my dancers when I'm with them in the room is all of these things that you work so hard for, all the details, all the little things, those are all things that are going to carry not just, dance, they're going to carry on into your careers that you do, whether you be a nurse, doctor, attorney, a coach, all the things that might seem silly to people, because that's kind of what judges ended up, the final score is going to be right down to, are the fingers stretched? Are the toes stretched? Are the knees straight? I mean, like to the little details that to the regular person watching a dance would be like, why did that one beat that one? And it's because it comes down to the finest detail that a dance teacher with a good trained eye can see. But normally parents all think their children are amazing.
Yes,
So it's
yes.
hard for them
It is hard
to understand how
Yeah.
someone got first. I think another thing that's really important is like when you're watching a dance competition, someone might get first overall and someone might get 10th overall. And that sounds very far apart. And it can be like 2 points or 1.5.
Oh yeah, and when you get to
So
top
close
top
together.
3, you're like half a point.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
It's like
Sometimes
crazy.
it's very, very
So
close.
that is actually coming down to every last detail. Usually
right.
technique being first, and of course choreography. I mean,
Yeah.
do you have choreography that makes, I always, when a choreography can make choreography not for their body but for the student, so each one of them looks different.
Right.
And what I would give your daughter Josie wouldn't be something I would give other people because they don't dance alike.
Right.
They don't have the same technique. They don't have the same way of moving their body, which is, movement quality.
Yeah, they're not the same athlete.
Exactly.
You're not going to give every athlete the same choreography.
Yeah. And even how a dancer thinks, like one dancer can pick things up really easy and
Totally.
another dancer struggles with concept. And, when you're doing contemporary or lyrical, telling the story, maybe one can really tell the story and another one can do the beautiful movement, but they
Yeah.
can't tell the story or emote the story.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You guys, we're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little growth, maybe some challenges, and then what United Dance Collective looks like moving forward. Does that sound good?
Fabulous.
All right, on For the Girls Club on 93.7 The Ticket.
Seems like just the other day, I was building my first house. I've seen many changes to our building market in Lincoln. It's been a fun road.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
We hear this a lot where I don't want to live in a cookie cutter home. Well, let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. One thing that we started doing early on was we started building neighborhoods. I'm a firm believer in character in your street and in your neighborhood. I like choice. I like variation. I like maybe something a little bit different in a neighborhood that you don't see in every neighborhood. I think it's great to have choices, its uniqueness, and I think that's what gives a neighborhood character. And I think that's what we've done over the years.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811, online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Hey, this is Jay Foreman, the host of Old School, 3 to 6 p.m. here at 93.7 The Ticket. And one of my favorite things to do is come down and meet all the fans before and after as they cheer on our beloved Huskers.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines. Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Grant Wister. I played at Nebraska, and after football, I wanted to build something in Nebraska that I was genuinely proud of. Champ Roofing is that. We built the whole company around one idea: do the job right and treat people well. Roof replacements, inspections, gutters, siding, whatever you need, our team is going to show up, communicate with you, and handle it with real care. Nebraska homeowners deserve that. Visit us at champ-roofing.com or call 402-858-7449.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
John just tried Runza's new Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger with its sweet heat bacon jam, pepper jack cheese, bacon, and cream cheese.
Whoa, this burger's like totally
What?
you know, boom, 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 boom.
Not sure I'm getting it.
It's totally jammin'.
Ah, I see. Well, don't jam with your mouth full. Try the Jammin' Bacon Cheeseburger. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Now back to For the Girls Club on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Mandy Monson.
We are back on For the Girls Club, and tonight my guest is Vivian Ball, owner of United Dance Collective. And during the break, we were just talking about, dance is, I just find it a fascinating sport for many different reasons. The first reason is like dance is really competitive, and it's competitive at different levels as far as, teams between teams. You have dancers, competing for center. Are they on center? Are they in the front? Now, I think you can create an atmosphere where that could be maybe not a great atmosphere for dancers. I think you do a great job because our studio is just you're so supportive of everybody. But, the other thing too, when I think about dance is a sport where you have a solo competition, a duo, trio competition, and team competition. Like, I just find that to be so unique when you think about competitions and teams. Like, I would just love to know your thoughts on that, and like how you approach that as an owner and as a director when you're, training individuals.
Yeah. Well, it kind of goes back to saying that like dance is for everyone. I think it's important that like you don't ever put the emphasis, which some studios do, and that's perfectly fine.
Sure.
I try to find that like really great balance that like solos should not be your most important. I mean,
Right.
Of all the years I've owned a studio, my business partner and I would always put the emphasis on team.
Yes.
The largest groups all the way down to, the smallest group, which there might be 5 or 4 on a team. So that's been for many, many years that's kind of been my philosophy of just saying that like it's so much harder to win as a team
Totally.
than it is as a solo, because
Yes.
somebody could take their solo and just continually practice it on their own or get private lessons, with several different teachers at the dance studio, help for that. Or maybe they do 2 solos to try to score higher.
Right.
So now they have 2 opportunities. But, it's one of those things where I always emphasize that like team is the number one.
Yeah.
Just as a sports, unless it's an individual sport like tennis or, something like that,
Yeah.
that it really is a beauty to work together and learn all. I love, my favorite thing is like, we're getting ready to go to nationals right now. and we're in our final 2 weeks of rehearsals. And I love when the kids collectively are like, where's the head? Where's the arms? And,
Right.
I've gotten the kids to a point where it's not about the teacher saying those things anymore. It's about them articulating back to me, taking ownership for this is how we are good.
Yeah.
It so many times, I mean, even in the past, there's been times when teams just want you to kind of spoon feed them, and they don't take as much, on with arms and where's the angle and all that. And I just love, I've got a group of kids right now, especially on the elite team, that are so concerned about perfectly matching and which way do we face and where's our head on that part. And,
Right.
that is a whole nother world that we didn't used to be that specific. With the dance teams, all the high school dance teams getting so much more competitive, which is a brand new thing in itself.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
They have to kind of do that a little bit more on their high school dance teams, which dancing at the studio can be a little bit different because it is supposed to be artistic. So that's almost like a whole nother interview in itself.
Yeah. Right.
Like they need to be matchy. And sometimes we're trying to create more of an art piece. And it's not about complete unison. It's more about movement quality.
Right.
And especially in a contemporary dance.
I was just going to say that, depending on the genre of dance
where,
too, right?
Yes, you want to match, but sometimes it's not about matching. It's about the different angles and the different, look that you're giving to it. And most importantly, the movement quality, just being how you move and not looking stiff or if it does require being stiff, you all match that. And if it's stiff and then flowy, then you flow.
Right.
So, that's kind of one way to think about, the question that you asked.
Yeah. And I think too, like, just to highlight, your studio and what United does really well is I feel like you are the queen of tap, Vivian, you and Lillian. You guys and tap is kind of a dance genre that has really seen a drop off. Is that what you said? Not with your studio, but nationally, right? Because you have contemporary
over the past couple of years.
Lyrical.
And I wouldn't say a couple of years. I would say, 5, whatever, 10,
maybe a decade.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They say, it's like it started to be a dying art form.
Right.
I think along with myself and many other really enthusiastic tap teachers, we've tried really making it, exciting and fun. I have judges at competitions that are like, how do you get everyone to like tap at your studio? I think it's just in the approach that you teach it, that you make it fun and not about like these little tiny steps and details,
right?
But that you find a way to teach it that is fun for everybody, and not lose people with the details. Sometimes it's not about all the information that you teach, but how you teach the information that you are doing,
right?
To get people excited to want to learn more about it,
right?
So
right. Yeah, when I think too, as far as like the staff that you have, like talk about what is that like from a business perspective and from a dance owner studio perspective? Like, how important is that your staff teaches similarly to what you want that final product to be?
Well, the girls at my studio that are teaching, as well as my daughter, all trained with me. So all 3 of them that teach with me trained in the same style. My daughter then went on to Oklahoma City University to get her degree from there. And so not only did she have my tap style, but then she got like 10 more different styles.
Right.
So she does a lot of our choreography and our guest classes and just working with the kids. It's so exciting when we get to have her come in from Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But they all trained with me, so they know the dedication and the depth and the groundwork that we need to have in order just to get the kids the end result for competition or just for recital.
Yeah.
And
the recital was amazing this year.
I would say that my staff, the 2 girls that are there with me all the time, they are so dedicated to the dance studio and to having the end product just be amazing. I mean, details that are just, both of them did their first years of solid choreography this year, and they got first overalls and
Yeah.
and choreography awards.
Amazing.
And yeah, like incredible.
Yeah.
And I think they both understand, especially my daughter, what would be expected to produce dancers to be at that elite level.
Yeah.
And especially the hard thing is having good dancers that are well-rounded. I mean, to me, that's another thing. I will say my dance studio, some studios are known for like ballet. Some are known for, like one genre. Maybe they're a contemporary studio and they do mostly contemporary at things.
Right.
I have always made it for the 31 years that I've been a studio owner. I think it's important in case someone does want to go on. Maybe their goal is to just learn dance. I would say
Sure.
ballet tap.
Right.
Maybe they're coming in and they just want to do some fun classes. I would say tumbling and hip hop.
Yeah.
And you can keep it so simple, and we were talking off the air and I was telling you how I just think dance is for everyone. And if you've got
I
a
agree.
child that is super rambunctious and you want to get some of that energy out, dance would be great.
Right.
And if you have that like really shy child and you're like, I need something for her, it could be age 2 on up.
Yeah.
That would help her come out of her shell.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is seeing that little girl that comes in and she's got her head down and which was my daughter, that now is a crazy, amazing dancer. And she was super shy with her chin down. Seeing them just blossom after 1 or 2 years of dance, and just that helps their whole life, because then they don't stay inward, internal.
Totally.
Yeah. So it helps like the shyest person,
Right.
it's just amazing.
Well, I just think about, so you had your third dance recital for United Dance Collective, and you produced Mary Poppins, and it was so good. Like, can you talk about what that takes from a studio director's work and the kids' work that they have to put in, and what that time frame is to get it from literally, we're going to do Mary Poppins, you do the cast, and then on May 16th there was a production of Mary Poppins. It was amazing.
And we do a whole ballet. Of course, the kids know that ballet is my number one. Like that's what I think they all need to focus on first and foremost. We have so many kids that are now doing 2 ballet classes a week, which is just phenomenal. I had several kids this year that got Joffrey scholarships to the Joffrey Ballet
that's so
convention.
awesome.
So amazing. Like several, they get amazing scholarships, but that was just the Joffrey ones.
Super
I was
cool.
so proud of those kids. That was Josie being one of them.
She got one of them. Yeah.
But putting that together from figuring out what we're going to do. And then we do a full length ballet that's like the Nutcracker.
So good.
And basically from the beginning of the show to the end, we're trying to tell the show in its entirety. It's kind of a condensed, because we're trying to fit that ballet into about an hour, but the kids will learn a part, so they all get their own special part. And then we have main characters, which we like to, a lot of the main character selection is based off of like ballet skills, dedication to their classes, always being to class on time, and just making sure that you're really a role model at the dance studio, making sure there's someone that can pick up choreography quick and then refine it. And there's a lot of acting that goes into it. So if you're a person that maybe that your child is wanting to be an actor or get into musical theater, we do basically, our ballets are pretty musical theater ballets because we do acting and lip syncing and basically everything that you would see a Broadway show do. We, musical theater is one of my absolute favorites with tap. So just having the kids learn that other aspect of, so that they could go be in a theater show, a Broadway show. I just think having them learn all the aspects of dance, not just this one dance form, like we're super good at jazz or we're super good at tap.
Right.
I think it's important to try to be as good at each art form as you can.
Right.
I always feel extremely honored that we can go out as a dance studio and score, with our taps, with our jazz, with our contemporary. at some of the
With your
hardest
hip-hop.
competitions with our hip hops,
Yeah,
everything.
I mean,
yeah,
really.
And I'm amazed that like the kiddos can do that because they're like I said, there are studios that specifically are ballet or contemporary only, and so I'm always
Yeah.
so proud. And that's a huge dedication to the kids that they're willing to put that much work into all forms of dance.
Yeah, I mean, actually, like you bring up a really good point. I hadn't thought about it like that, but I mean, that's when I said we were going to talk about some challenging things. I mean, I just think about dance and having a high level competition team that's scoring well and winning not just one style or category of dance, and also, right, not just solos, not just duos, trios, teams.
Yeah.
Like I really would, because you do such a fantastic job, because your team wins all of those categories, all of those genres of dance. Like, how challenging is that to be able to produce that level of dancer? You know, like what do you think that takes, and how do you do that?
I think a lot of it is it does you have to like find ways to excite kids about what they're doing.
Oh yeah, totally.
I feel like besides the fact that we're doing dance, just telling them what they can achieve with the hard work.
Right.
Because what I always say when I'm alone with the kids is, you know, if we don't put our most into what we're doing, you know, and that can even, the most can be having fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
because ultimately
Yes.
this needs to be fun.
Totally.
You know,
Yes,
so it's
yes.
like, and the talks that we have when we're trying to refine something or something is like just so special. You know, what dancers have with each other is a special bond because
Yes.
basically you're holding each other up. You're working together as one. It's such a neat thing. But, you know, telling them that if we don't put in the work, someone at the next studio is going to be putting in the work.
Totally.
You
Yep.
know, and so I'm like, if we don't do it, somebody else is. You know,
Yeah.
if we do 5 sit-ups, someone's going to be doing 6, 7, or 8.
Right.
You know, so it's just, but it's also exciting them and getting them excited about what they're doing and not making it feel like a job. Because I
Yes,
think you can
right.
get very burnt out with sports. You know, it
Yep.
could be anything that you're doing. I mean, I think back to Olympics with the ice skater that said she got burnt out and had to quit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you never want to get kids to that sort of level, which can easily happen.
Totally.
You know, and even a parent could burn out a child with putting them in too much if they're
Mhm.
like, oh, yeah, keep going, keep practicing. You know, so it's finding that fine line. I always say, and I say it at recital, I always giggle and say, I don't know how these kids don't get tired of me, you know?
Right.
But at the end of the night, I get the most amazing smiles, hugs, thank yous.
Yeah.
I mean, they like ultimately love what they're doing, and I don't have to ask them. It's like when they love what they're doing and I love what I'm doing,
Yeah.
magic happens.
Right.
And I know the other teachers are the same way because they come in to share their dances with me and I'm like, oh my God, these are amazing. Like you made
Right.
magic over there.
Yeah.
And that magic is just, it's something that's, you know, I know over the years I've had family members even say to me, my favorite thing is watching a dance start choreography. And it's like a hot mess.
Yeah.
And you're like just learning the steps and their faces look like scared and oh my gosh,
Right.
they can't pick it up. And then like 6 weeks later, what does that dance look like?
Right.
And then you go a couple months later.
Right.
And then when you see it on stage, you can't even believe that dance, like the process that a dancer goes through in refining a dance just is something unexplainable. It's such a
Yeah.
beautiful thing,
It is.
you know, because it is truly art. And so you're making this beautiful piece.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, it's super important that the kids, by putting their showmanship and their, you know, passion into it, that's the creative beauty that they bring to it.
Yeah.
You know, as choreographers, you just give it and then you have to bring
the
that
element.
out of them, which is sometimes hard. That takes weeks just to get that like performance quality,
Right.
you know, out. So
I
I
love
think,
that.
yeah, but it's a beautiful thing. I mean,
Yeah. I totally agree.
yeah, whether you're doing it, you know, just like I said, just the 1 hour class, you know, or my favorite, and I know it's probably yours too, when the mommy and the daddy comes in and dances
Right.
with their
Yep.
2 or 3-year-old,
Yep.
you know, and you watch that at recital and it's like, your heart.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just
so good.
it's such a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah. It's so good. Harrison, are we going to take a quick break or? Okay, well, let's take a quick break. We're almost to the final segment, Vivian. You guys hang on right here. We'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket for the Girls Club.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day, because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Graham Tire presents life's greatest adventures.
Okay, buddy, here we go. Just keep your eye on the ball. All right, just swing right through it. Yeah, good job. Way to go. Hey, run it out. Okay.
Great road trips start with great service. Graham Tire, your tire store next door, with 5 convenient Lincoln locations, getting you to the places that matter most.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for their 14th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an exclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, they're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
We have 2 boys, so we needed more space. We lived in a townhouse, so we decided to build.
Casey Bowman and her husband Joe built their first home with us. This is Bob Benish of Aspen Builders. Working with the Bowmans was fantastic.
And after the first meeting, we really liked them as people.
I was really skeptical about the whole building process, more so than Joe was. But they explained everything before it happened. If there were problems or issues along the way, they called and explained everything. They just really helped ease my mind.
They were really good about giving us options as far as what fit in the budget, what didn't fit in the budget. They have a designer, Rachel.
She was amazing. She was very helpful in making sure that our house turned out good. I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change the lot. I wouldn't change colors. I love everything about it. Everything. It's perfect for us.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
93.7 The Ticket is Lincoln's home for Kansas City Royals baseball in 2026. Catch all the action as Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and a pitching rotation led by Cole Reagans try to lead the Royals back to the postseason. That's Kansas City Royals baseball all summer long on the... Now back to For the Girls Club on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Mandy Monson.
You guys, we are back to the last segment. I can't, the hour always flies, but tonight was great. So Vivian, thank you for being on. So we're going to do two things in this last segment. We're going to do some promotion. I know United Dance Collective has some things coming up, and then we'll leave our audience with some advice, some golden nuggets. So first, what does United Dance Collective have coming up that you would love for Lincoln, Nebraska to know about?
Well, we just started our summer classes today, actually, and it's actually never too late to sign up. Some studios close off enrollments like at the beginnings or, second week. We actually take students year round.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's so great.
Yeah, we might not be able to get them into recital, but, sometimes if the recital costume's already ordered and you want to get in for the recital, we will at least try to get the recital costume and still get you in. So, we can always fit you in at any time. They could at least be doing technique. Our summer classes is 6 weeks. We did start it this week. If people would get in late, we could always do a pro rate and fix that, or something like that. It did start today and runs till July 30th.
Okay.
So we do have summer classes. We believe in training year round. And that is for age 2 to 18-year-olds, all the way up. And we would have something for like all ages and of course, all genres of dance. We also have our team auditions coming up this Saturday from 9 to 5 o'clock.
Right.
At the studio. And that is also welcome to anyone that would like to join a competition team. One nice thing our competition team does is we do all levels. So we compete in the elite level, but we also have some intermediate dancers that joined us last year. The studio just keeps growing. It's so amazing.
I know, it's awesome.
And then we had a novice dancer last year, and I think we're going to add some more of those that came to the meeting that are just trying to get into competition, but they haven't had a lot before. So definitely all abilities and age range is welcome for summer dance and for the auditions that are coming up.
Amazing. Okay. And that's at uniteddancecollective.com, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can find all this information on our website.
Perfect. Okay. We got about a minute left. So I love to have my guests leave our audience with a piece of advice. Maybe it's about dance. Maybe it's about owning your business. What would you like to leave our audience with?
I would love to say that, find, especially if you're a woman, because I know that's what you touch on.
Yes.
If you want to do any kind of business that you're thinking about, take the risk, do it. If you put your passion, your love, your hard work into what you're doing, anything's achievable.
Yeah.
And as far as, dance, just remembering if you are a parent out there or a dancer that wants to do dance, it is truly for everyone. There is definitely going to be, a place for you in a class. It's finding that right class, finding that right teacher, but whatever you want to do in your life, just take that risk and do it and try it and that dream and make it happen.
I love it. You guys, you heard it here on For the Girls Club, Vivian Ball, United Dance Collective. You guys come back every Tuesday, 8 to 9 p.m. for the Girls Club on 93.7 The Ticket.
Thank you so much.
And this is Austin Orman from Old School with Foreman and Orman, live from 1040 O Street in the heart of downtown Lincoln, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. My favorite thing about downtown Lincoln has to be the year-round energy. Downtown Lincoln never stops. It's easy to get to, has everything you could need or want in dining, entertainment, and retail, and of course it has Lincoln's best sports talk, proudly located in downtown Lincoln on the corner of 11th and O.
This message is brought to you by the Downtown Lincoln Association and 93.7 The Ticket.
Is your air conditioner ready for the hot weather ahead? Get it checked now before you really need it. Call Bryant now to schedule your spring air conditioning